I'm Jason UFC, and today we have a story about UFC lightweights. Charles Oliveira versus Beneil Dariush has been booked for UFC 288. Former UFC lightweight champion Charles Oliveira will face top five contender. I believe Beneil Dariush is top five by now. Beneil Dariush in his octagon return at UFC 288. Oliveira announced the booking on his Instagram page after Dariush said in recent weeks that he had agreed to the fight. How about that? Oliveira returns after losing a lightweight championship match up against Islam Makhachev at UFC 280. I believe it was choked out or tapped out at Viva Arm Triangle. Islam Makhachev defeated Charles Oliveira Viva Arm Triangle at UFC 280. A win over Dariush could potentially earn him a rematch against Islam Makhachev. Before the loss to Makhachev, Oliveira was on a roll in the UFC lightweight division. He earned the belt by defeating Michael Chandler at UFC 266 before defending it against Dustin Poirier. Oliveira missed weight ahead of his UFC 274 clash against Justin Gaethje, stripping him of the belt. He missed weight by, like, I believe it was point 0.5, right? He weighed 155.5, so he was point 0.5 over the championship limit. Lightweight, you can go up to like 156, I believe 156 and a half, something like that for any regular fight, but for championships, you cannot go you cannot go over 155. And people were saying that the scale was just off. But Charles Oliveira went on to defeat Justin Gaethje after missing weight, quote unquote, via first round submission. How about that? He defeated Gaethje in the first round. Oliveira will face a surging contender in Dariush, who has won 8 fights in a row. He most recently defeated Gamrot at UFC 280 via unanimous decision. Dariush has been clamoring for a title shot for the past 2 years after recent wins over Tony Ferguson, and Gamrot. A win over Charles Oliveira will likely earn himself a higher ranking. I can't say I don't earn him a title shot. I have no idea. Makhachev could potentially rematch Alexander Volkanovski later this year, although nothing is formally in the works. Makhachev defeated Volkanovski via unanimous decision at UFC 284. Wow, so a lot going on here. I mean, this is just a great fight. Like I said, I don't know if Beneil Dariush is in the top five at the moment, but that he probably should be in the top five. We also have who's fighting. What's his name? Justin Gaethje will be facing Rafael Fiziev at I don't know what UFC is that. UFC 285, I think that is. Or 286. I think it's UFC 286. Justin Gaethje will be facing Rafael Fiziev in the lightweight division. The winner of that, I'm pretty sure they're going to both be calling for title shots. We also have the return of Conor McGregor, who will be facing Michael Chandler later on this year in the lightweight division. So a lot of moving pieces in the lightweight division. We still don't have any word on Dustin Poirier. What's he doing? In the top five. I believe that's basically everybody in the top five. And then we have to figure out what's happening with Islam Makhachev. Will he go against the winner of Beneil Dariush versus Charles Oliveira? Or will he face the winner of Gaethje versus Fiziev? Or will he face the winner of Chandler versus Conor? Or will Makhachev give a rematch to Volkanovski, who is the current featherweight champion? So what's going on with him is Volkanovski going back to defend his featherweight belt. I believe I recently read something about he wants the rematch. I thought it doesn't. He's not. Alexander Volkanovski doesn't seem to be talking too much about the interim light about the interim featherweight champion, Yaya Rodriguez. Right, I believe Rodriguez is the interim featherweight champion, but we haven't heard anything about unifying that belt. So we'll see a lot of moving pieces, a lot of matches happening in the lightweight division. That's the great thing about it, is that there's so many moving pieces. We'll see what the champion does. We'll see what the contenders do, and in a few months we'll know who's in the top 5 and who's coming off of a win and who's coming off of a loss. I personally, in this fight, I'm gonna go with Charles Oliveira. I ride with Charles Oliveira so heavy. He's defeated almost everybody in the top 5, in the top 10. So I think he keeps that streak on. But this is a great fight, especially for Beneil Dariush. If he's really, really about that life, facing Charles Oliveira one fight after losing the belt. If you beat a Charles Oliveira one fight after he lost the belt, you're right there for the title shot. So good luck to Beneil Dariush and good luck to my boy Charles Oliveira. Let me know who do you think is going to win in this fight. I'm Jason, UFC. Today we had a story about the UFC lightweight division. Charles Oliveira versus Beneil Dariush, booked for UFC 288. Before I go, I do have to mention that this will not be the main event. As you can tell, this is not a title fight. UFC 288 obviously is going to be like some type of pay-per-view. I believe they're talking about Aljamain Sterling defending his bantamweight title versus Henry Cejudo. So that may be the main event. This fight will most likely just be a 3-round fight. That's going to probably play a part in some people's who they're going to root for in this fight. But hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the $1 donation button. And please tune in to the next video on this channel. Thanks a million for watching.